And welcome back on board, everyone. This is your Captain Firespit speaking, and it is time we get back out into the void. We can investigate the black box. We're not doing that, though. Let's see here. We have... Yep. Alright, we are making our way off to Titania. And then the LNS Nature Reserve. And then we'll go to Port Prosper. Relatively straight lines, relatively speaking. Choo-choo. Choo-choo straight to hell. Which I can say, we do have a devil on board. Get some. Nice little box of supplies. Choo-choo. The undergrowth draws in, the calls of unknown gargantuan beasts rattle your engine. Here the reach runs wild. As it should. Hi. That's right, Reach Marauder. There we go. Ooh, some of it is even intact. Clasped jewelry box. Ah, more gossip. I have so much gossip. Overly seasoned with the words of those in the saloons. Titania's down here. Whoever points at Titania. Fly over the reach. Father wanted to move here, but bees happened. Jeez. And as you see, chorister bees flooded streets and petals. The thrashing of their wings is the drumbeat of apocalypse, and the people flee in panic from their mighty stingers. But there is no safe harbor and no respite. All is lost. Help defend Titania! And song drowns the lamentations and the fury and the mind. All the world joins death's hymnal. Those who proudly defy their fate, and those who beg for wretched mercy. Those who raise their arms, those who buckle their knee. The chorister hive takes the lyrics of poets, yet unwritten, yet sung songs from lips now forever silent. It is only iron and fire that quietens the voice of carnage. Lo, the song ends only by its own accord. Once the nectar is gathered, the hive departs, and there is a lasting silence. Half an hour is a pretty long time for something like this. Let's get a port report done first. And before we get involved in that, get that dropped off. Florid Landscapes is planning a modest floor garden in Titania to commemorate the birthday of whatever dead artist, composer, or poet is. That should do what the Florid Landscapes declares. She stores sacks carefully away from any water sources. For any source of water, for the floor of the reach is dangerously ebullient when nourished. Impeccable surfaces, please accept this additional compensation. Add Valentine Square. Oh, some of these are new. Let's start with Oberon's Landing. Two of Titania's most prominent citizens are arguing about the new direction of the port, supposed to be apocalypse. The rhapsodic mayor's disinclined to be the deciding vote. I'll have to get into here first. I kind of am more interested in this rather than go with Albion, because that's where London is. It's in an art exhibition. Few wooden stages showcase the students' latest work. Oh nice, terror has fallen. And the porphyr font. A veiled pavilion rests in the curve of one of Titania's great petals. Hear the melancholy poet. Oh, okay. What's this? I can trade stories for experience. Now we head over to LNS Nature Reserve. Right, I need to find Old Tom's Well. We'll probably go check out over here first then, before we go to Albion. How many times have I flown past Petal End and not checked it off. That's kind of annoying. Oh well. How much? 1,600 sovereigns. Someone's leaving quite the visible trail. Intriguingly bulging sack. How pleasantly it rattles. With coin. Delightful. Undergrowth draws in the calls of unknown gargantuan beasts. Skyfarers exposed to the haunting lights of the stars are prone to sudden obsessions, erratic behavior, command staring fixedly from a stained glass window. Look, he points out at the ordinary sky. Webs strung between the stars. Watch, watch. Yeah, did you see the stars shiver like you on the cobwebs when the spider stirs? Try it. Partial success. I've lost fuel. That ain't good. That's why I stock up whenever I can in port. Oof, lost that. What did people forget? Oh, nice. Fuel. Clearly, that's where we lost our fuel. Ooh, a hunting opportunity. I guess we'll just explore the nature reserve. Alright, got my port report. No, it was capabilities inquest? Yes, basic research. Turning in your research. Alright. And in the wings of the chorister bee. You are thanked for your efforts and asked to wait while the company sorts out your reward. It might be a couple of days. Later, the phlegmatic researcher calls upon you. He hands you the envelope of sovereigns. Hideous creatures, choristers. I agree, he says, fidgeting in his chair. but I cannot accept that it is only by the chance their wings are so exquisitely articulated that they generate song. And in the Antrema homestead, the researcher invites you over for tea. Marvelous creatures, he says, passing you an envelope of sovereigns from the company. As far as I can discern, they only seem to mind when a human is about to die. I wonder what it is about us. And then a sample of hybris pus. Soon the phlegmatic researcher summons you to collect your reward. He hardly waves his cane in greeting when you enter. Awful stuff, he frowns. No redeeming virtues. That's no surprise there. Alright, let's return to the research base. Return in 15 days to see the results of the researcher's work. Okay, so the ornithologist is still being ridiculed. That's unfortunate. Oh, nice. We gained some sky stories. Okay, nothing else going on there. Alright, next destination. Turn around. Next destination is going to be over in here. Because choo-choo. But no, actually, because our driver has a brain fungus that wants him to go visit Old Tom's Well. Was it just called Tom's Well? I don't remember. Doesn't matter. Matters he's got cordyceps, but rather than taking control of him, they're hitchhiking tourists, which is... I'm not sure if that's better or worse. Hardly a well-aimed shot. That was a blunderbuss round that scored a lucky hit. Probably shouldn't be tangling with our maddened explorers, but here we are anyways. Doing them a favor, if anything. Nice, I'm gonna have to go with this. Ooh, anyways, we gained some money. Captain's door is covered in knots and crosses, so it transpires. This is the rest of his cabin. His logs and his body in every game. The knots won. Your search turns up a few valuables, and you return to your engine. hives. Send out the bat. Okay, there is something up over there. Got some Jet Sam and a Marauder. Go. I'm lucking out with some drunkenness on there. Ooh, fuel. Just take the sovereigns. Last time I checked the cabin, it just gave me more gossip. Wonder who was here before us. Sigils glowed on the ruins. Oh. Great, a thing. Of course requires a saying. Place of terror is unknowable. And more star madness. Barely luminescent cage, a light burns from within. Ooh. A silver idol rests inside, 4 wings extend from its hunched shoulders. Made from moonstone, your navigator says in a hushed voice, to amplify the light of the stars. Some repairs. In turbulence, the crew looks terrified. The incautious driver looks thrilled. This is quite where I need to be. Approaching Old Tom's well. Yep, this is where I need to be. Success! Down through the tearing mist, through the whipped particulates that thunder on your hull, through the shrieking winds which fall abruptly still. A ledge of black ice has accreted over centuries at the well's edge, with a raised lip that affords a sliver of shelter. A handful of beehive huts huddle around a crude church. They are built from roughly chopped blocks of the same black ice that forms the shell around the well. Old Tom was a prospector during the promised days that followed London's arrival in the heavens. For years he combed the reach looking for the strike that would make him rich. He didn't find it. Luckless and impoverished, he made a wish here at the well. The next month he discovered the mother of mountains about, and the rich hour veins that riddled her flanks. For a year his was experienced staggeringly wealthy. Others come here now, the desperate and the broken, with their final futile wishes. Fungal sentience colonizing their mind has led them here. But why? The incautious driver strides to the very lip of the well and leans precariously out to stare into the depths. The well winds pluck at them. You grab a handful of their coat just in case. Can you see them, archivist, glimmering in the dark? The bones of the sun. The driver looks back at you, their eyes suddenly as green as old emeralds. A messenger came and described the signs of peace, but it wore hoary well seed, murder beneath the arches of heaven. The driver's balance shifts, they lurch, and you pull them back onto the gritty ice. When they look at you, their eyes turn to their customary blue. Thank you. My head is feeling very crowded. The impulse has changed now. I need to return to the nature reserve. Its home is there. Or its parents? Its master? Not sure. I don't speak fungus. Me neither. Let's check out the beehive hovels. Sky churns as you make your way to the pitiful domes. Most are empty, awaiting a well-wisher. The third one is not. It contains a corpse stiff as an icicle. Some supplicant who died before their wish was granted. Move on. In the fifth dwelling, you find a sallow petitioner, her eyes feverish. You saw golden rose. She croaks unprompted, blistering in the deep. And the Kirk. Ice crunches underfoot, cake in your boots with a pitchy crust. There is no door on the church. I guess we'll speak to the Lank Minister. We'll start with the nomination. Ignorant calls the cursing church, but we are the compassed who dwell on the brinks. We are the lambs who were torn by the wolf. We are the undone, and the angel of the pit hears us, but will not hear others. And our holy text, her congregation raises their hands. Each has their own leaf of paper, a single page torn from the Bible. The only page that matters, the Judas Psalm. It contains the only lesson that we need to hear. The promise that those who wronged us can be made to suffer. Right. You may only be subject to one well-right at a time. This one increases your iron at the cost of your hearts and ears. Alright, let's get out of here. And now we're getting pulled into a potential singularity. Double back. Oh dear. It's fine, we got fuel aplenty. We can make it back to I guess we'll have to get back to the LNS Nature Reserve. Oh dear. Oh dear. Now we definitely have to make it back to the Nature Reserve. We have the fuel. What a disastrous voyage. Our terror is high. We've lost most of our fuel. All because we're going on some merry chase led by our driver's brain fungus. I've decided this is worse than mind control fungus. This is just... This is just a hitchhiker with the worst possible tourist destinations. Except for the nature reserve. That one's okay. Alright. Not long enough. All the incautious drive into the reserve. The verdant sea in their head drives them deep into the wilderness. Deep in the wilderness stands a mighty tree, shriveled and dry. A fungal growth twists around it, its blooms flecked with purple and black. The incautious driver approaches it, lying down in supplication. The verdant pulses, its buds splitting open, erupting a spore ball that soon coats the driver in a shimmering emerald dust. For several minutes silence. When the driver emerges, their faces crestfallen. It wasn't enough. What had brought it was only half the story. It needs more. You escort them back to the train. They should be more coherent after a good meal and a few hours sleep. Alright, I was hoping that could at least reduce terror. Alright then, well. Fuel cell is depleted, we'll make that. There we go. Actually, give me an idea. Fill the rest of our hold with supplies. Let's go to that giant flower. Let's go see a Podian Gardens, yes. Because we can have a picnic there. And also hopefully it'll cut down some of our night terror. Or sky terror in this case. It is late and you are alone, doubts prey on you. Is this the path you should have taken? You trespass upon green seats of heaven. What price will be exacted of you? What price have you already paid? Endure this lean, cruel hour. You do not need to take to the bottle. Questions worry at you, chasing away sleep. Later, there's a knock at your door, one of your officers outside. Archivist, we need you. Duty calls, the doubts must wait. Success only gave me two terror. Hate to see what a failure would have done. But at least we can resist taking to the bottle to deal with this. That's the last thing I need to do for dealing with troubles here. Said we got giant flowers. That'll make us feel better. And whatever these are. The flowers gone open, petals in full bloom, red and gold, soft and cerise all around. The stoker suggests a picnic. Absolutely hold a picnic. Take your rest, bounced on a great leaf and shaped by a clump of tall flowers. Your crew raid the galley for a picnic, stout and cheese, wine and cold meat, a blanket is smoothed out over the coarse leaf flesh. A stoker plays a fiddle, another harmonica. Someone sings along to the tune, old ballads of days long gone. Spare your crew a little rest, at least until you have finished this novel. Okay, that was an excellent reason to stop by. Picnic always solves problems. Unless it rains, in which case you have a whole other set of problems. Mostly soggy picnic. Who wants that? I can't imagine we get much rain up here. Humidity on the other paw. That's probably what we get a lot of. Unrelenting, cruel humidity. At night, your sleep is peppered with uncomfortable dreams, a dream of a midnight meadow. Above you, the stars are going out one by one as if their gas pipes have been turned off. Flowers bloom in the dark, colored in spectral blacks that were heretofore imperceptible. The black reef, the black of before times, the blacks of liberation and of possibility. A rainbow arches across the nearly empty sky in even subtle shades, all black, of course. You wake. Your engine is mostly crewed by the living. You have conversation, tea, perhaps a biscuit. Those fundamentals human things help us forget. Humanist moments like these. Let's try seeking company. Oh no. Again, terror. I spooked the poor guy. Which I get it, I'd be spooked too if I had to deal with my captain going mad. But I'm not mad. I'm just twitchy. A succinct difference. I don't need to raid the cache. I'm just here to read the ledger. And off we get going. Or Prosper, and then finally Albion. Which I may have to return to the Nature Reserve after Albion because it has stuff that, well, the Nature Reserve needs. Thanks. No, I found something over there. I was gonna say thanks, Bat, but never mind. Still no assaying capabilities. Oops. Good thing those are on a timer. Rumble far off refineries, distant searchlights breaks the sky. Yeah, since we're so close to port, we can jettison some supplies. Okay. Perhaps not. Just explore the port. Get our port report. Here we go. Find the humiliated musician's house. Props and spirit cabinets line the musty hallways. Faded posters depict the musician's noble countenance as he prepares to embark on another daring adventure in the occult. Not painted cards. The pernickety factor finds much to roll her eyes at. I forgot I had her on board. You find the battered suitcase underneath a large tabby cat. It yowls sleepily. The cat could belong to the musician, or could have just crept in here for a nap. The granite stud collar reads, Monsieur Francois. It looks what you expected, Lane. And we'll take the cat with. We have a kitty. The nickety factor gives you a look of abject disbelief when you ask her to find a suitable box to carry the cat in. Monsieur Francois proves a very amenable traveler, however, and purrs all the way back to your locomotive. Your cook is less than thrilled at having another mouth to feed. Attend a performance of the Gaudy Widow? Sure. Located at the edge of the west end, overlooking the bridge, the Gaudy Widow promises unpretentious delight for most of the family. Although out of fashion in London, the broad amusements of pantomime and vaudeville still carry favor with the well-heeled of the West End. They are, of course, careful to never enjoy themselves too much. She's behind you, a poster reads. What japes? enthusiastic. All of bells ring over the rooftops. The Albert clock is chiming the hour away. Enjoy yourself. You find your companions in the stalls, armed with boiled sweets and roasted chestnuts. You soon have the vicar hopping about the stage while the exuberant widow is almost beside herself with laughter. Interval, and subsequently the rest of the second act, is a hazy affair. Its narrow streets huddle in the shadow of great crag banners display the stony features of her renewed majesty. Wealthy West Enders strut by, exchange polite greetings, veiled gossip, while city East End workers file to the hour refining factories. Okay. Nothing I can. I was hoping for something I could use to reduce the. Let's check this out. Okay, there we go. Not the greatest thing to lose terror through, but it worked. I have a cat on board, but I can't have them as a mascot. Truly a shame. Check on our driver. The driver picks irritably at their ear. I was meant to be off this train by now. Just go into the well and everything will be fine. Instead, it's unsatisfied archivist. It needs an answer to something that I can't give it. There's a piece of itself missing somewhere in Albion, another of its spores sent out many years ago to find the truth. Feel it out there somewhere, refusing to return. Enjoys its freedom too much. Perhaps if we look at the major ports, they must have left a trace. We have to find it, Captain. Search for evidence of the verdant fragment in London, Furterance, Warbury, Juxtamar, Brabazon, and the floating parliaments. Recently, they've been roaming the corridors of your engine, whistling and getting in the way. Is there something they want? The driver blinks. Can't keep anything from you. I see I've been feeling a bit on edge. Would like to make myself useful if I can. This race of Royal Society. Maybe we could go there and you could drop me off for a bit. I can make us both a bit of money. They take out a coin, flip in the air. It comes down and heads. Just a thought, anyway. Actually, while we're here, I had grabbed a savage secret just so I could talk to these guys. Why exactly do they need locomotive? Perhaps sharing confidence of your own will encourage candor. Cinders lights a cigar. Our Sarge kicked the bucket in the blockade, but the night before he told each of us he'd left us something in a vault. What sod must have been loaded. Thing is, we need his account number to get it. Gave part of it to each of us so there'd be no thieving. That's our predicament. That last mission, our lieutenant sold us out. Half the squad died, the rest scattered. We took the numbers off the dead, but we need to find the survivors of the company. And us, we have the numbers. We still have to find the vault. Cinders grinds her yellow teeth in frustration. Sarge kept some of the stuff at Carillon. Not at the vault, but might be a clue. You Coxer had 50 sovereigns for a trip to Carillon then? Interesting. Ask Albrecht about Sarge. You're on a quest because of his bequest? What was he like? How did he die? Albrecht is polishing his claws. Sarge casts a long shadow. He symbols Zastada's Winchester Var. Oh, he's French or Germanic. I've probably irritated everybody with that commentary. He's very Germanic. The best fighting rats who came through the avid horizon. He made us unit. No, wait. He's a Zailor. He's an ex-Zailor from the Sunless Seas. He just his whiskers, but we had no respect. We were expendable. To get better contracts, we had to be respectable. So he found a rodent of officer class to lead us. Hot hamster, I think, in size. And that's where it all went wrong. He lapses in silence and will say no more. Spend time with our Rat Brigade. Rat Brigade are playing cards. Cinders is cheating by means of mirrors concealed in the sleeves of her uniform, a spring-loaded trap, and brazen card counting. Albrecht and Petronella have devised a surreptitious drinking game around each new display of bad sports rat ship. I'm leaving all of my assumptions to the rat's ethnicity in here. Caroline is way up there. There's also Palmier and Plenty Circus that needs to be reached. I may opt to go to Magdalene's just to deal with my power, though. Yeah, let's go to Magdalene's. There, who knows? Actually, I know, we're going back to the circus. Let's not go. Yeah, let's actually go through here. Horrible an idea as it may be. My bat has justified my desire to go in this direction. Yes. Unwelcome visitors of an undesirable nature. You dodging. Bio slug abominations. Ow! Nope. My mirrors were hired, I'd probably attempt this, but nope. Bombard. Miners dug too deep in this world let disturbing a disgruntlement of cantankerity. It's just a mining spot. Lantern's status a sleek mark for the ramshackle grave. Relighting them would commemorate the dead, but might disturb any tankery. Success! You gained Tacti's gratitude, your reputation with Tacti's, and we lost terror. Supplies. We made up the supplies we jettisoned. There has fallen. You demand an explanation. She once encountered the storm that speaks. Okay, her again. That evening, your engines loud song and laughter. The sky shanties are perhaps a bit lubricated. Humor lips with a touch of mania, but for now, the fears of the sky are forgotten. Passing cantankerity, almost through the cold night, it tuts at the bright, glaring warmth of the windows. It flicks disproving intent at the noise at the hour. When you have passed it by, it is glad to have the quiet and cold sky back. Well, that was an interesting detour, but it almost looks like it could be something. Nope. There was a wall there before we reached the wall. Unfortunate, truly. That brigade considers magazines for a while. Finally, it's very red. Very tick-tocky. There's a big clock here. Right, I forgot I need chorister nectar for this place. Oh well. Because they're almost depleted. So I've checked out all of these. Except for a very boring individual, their tedium was sublimely crafted. You recognize the lady as soon as you enter the room. She had been serving soup at the round table or some even lowlier establishment beneath the bridges of New Winchester. As you made a cutting remark, perhaps you were less than complimentary about the soup. But no matter, here she is now, armed with tureens for you to sample. The stained bars tool has been provided for your comfort. And honestly, I have questions about Magdalene's, as they seem to know. also looking for a report. Speak to the amenable host. He's melancholy, not to mention irritable. He has a job for you, he says, his voice rich with unhappiness. I admire your discretion earlier, he sighs. You have seen the dangers of our work upon those who abuse our service. Yet we are not immune to it ourselves. He draws your attention to several paintings as well. My regulars have a very special request that I be a prospector on Lustrum, heir to a fine house in Prosper, and a titan of industry in New Winchester. Very specific request, and more. I have vivid memories of being all three, yet all cannot be true, surely. You press the lock in your hands, this bears my image. See if anyone remembers me. I can't remember who I was before this. If I could be other than I am, I'd like to know. Lustrum, New Winchester, and Port Prosper. Let's observe the guests. And, alright. Not much to be said there. Port Prosper, New Winchester. I'm assuming Lustrum is somewhere in here. As traders would. That's a black hole. Right, well, for now, we will be departing the engine and spending some much needed time at Caroline's. We'll be spending some much needed time at Magdalene's. Caroline's way up north and is housed by devils. This is a questionably safer location to get our nightmares and terrors treated. But until then, enjoy your shore leave and don't get addicted to the treatment here. Well, I hope you had a good time here as much as I did in the space train. As always, I hope you have a good day or good night wherever you may be. If you like my content, hit the like button. If you dislike my content, hit the dislike button. Both those help me out a lot. And if you want to catch my next recording or catch the next time I'm going live, feel free to hit that subscribe button. And if you have any errant thoughts at all, feel free to leave those down below in the comments. And until next time, ta-ta for now. Y'all have a good one.